I can remember at the age of 9, I wanted to give my life to Jesus. And I did that to the best of my 9-year-old understanding. I got baptized and I tried to follow the rules that I knew from the Bible. The church that we were a part of had additional rules outside of what was just what the Bible told us. And as a teenager, as I started to realize that some of the things that they were telling us were right and wrong weren't things that the Bible said were right and wrong, it was just their interpretation of something, it started to make me question a lot of the things in the Bible and wanting to understand it for myself and starting to push back on a lot of things. And that what started as maybe not even an unhealthy pushback, it turned into rebellion because it wasn't received well by my parents, particularly my father. And so that created friction. At 18, I graduated high school and I went away to college, and now I could make all my own decisions, which I thought was wonderful. I did fairly well in college, but progressively I started to edge more towards the partying side of things, because when you see Christianity as a set of rules instead of a relationship, and you're breaking the rules, it's really easy for guilt and shame to just become overwhelming. And then when you feel guilt and shame, it's really easy to want those feelings to go away. And if you can make those feelings go away by feeling something different through alcohol, drugs, toxic relationships, gambling, anything, then that's what I chose to do. I graduated and got a job in the restaurant business, and had some success there. Progressively, worked my way up in different restaurants, bigger restaurants, more employees that I was managing, and I was working 50 or 60 hours a week, and then I was partying until I was asleep, and then I would wake up and I would just do it again. And that was my life, and I did that for 4 or 5 years, and then I got a call, and it was from my dad, and he told me my little brother had committed suicide. And I allowed that to spin me pretty much completely out of control. There was a night where I've moved my furniture in my room and swept up all the corners, and then looked through the dirt to see if there was any parts of drugs left in there that I could take. And that's the kind of addict that I was. A couple years after that, I had a boss who cared enough about me to come to me and tell me that I needed to straighten myself out. He could see that the drug use and the alcohol was preventing me from successfully doing my job. And he could have easily fired me for it, but he instead gave me the option to either clean up my act myself, or he would help me get help. And I actually left the meeting telling him that I would clean it up myself. And then within a few minutes of leaving the meeting, I called him back and told him that I probably needed to go to a rehab, because I realized that if I was not physically removed from the drugs and the alcohol, I couldn't stop myself. So I went to a rehab with just the intentions of getting cleaned up enough that I could get him off my back and I could kind of go back to, the life that I knew. But God met me in that rehab. And the first week and a half were so horrible because I could not stop thinking about using. And I couldn't, because there was nothing there, and I was basically locked away from being able to do anything. But it was obsessive. I don't know that I slept half an hour a night for that first week and a half. It was so bad. And I would pray, and this was probably the first time I had prayed to God for more than just, don't let me get arrested tonight or get me out of this bind. I was asking him to reveal himself to me. I said, God, if you're real, I need you to remove this, because I can't live like this. And he did. I stayed in the rehab for the time that I was supposed to be there, and I got out, and that was almost 17 years ago, and I have not felt the desire to use since then. That's not what's normal. What's normal is that even if they can get clean for a little while, people go back. Because the obsession to use doesn't go away. And so you can white knuckle it for a little while. You can just try really hard, but that's not the gift that God gave me. God literally removed it and it was gone. And that's what I mean when I say that he revealed himself to me. God has given me a life that's so far beyond anything I could have asked for or deserve. And I have a beautiful family. My family is all very healthy. We've had career success. Like, we've had all of these material or, kind of tangible things that we might call blessings, but it's so much more than that. Like, it's the peace and joy that comes from knowing that God's in control and I don't have to be. The only response that I can have to that is to give him the rest of my life. Like, I don't deserve to be alive. I don't deserve to be alive right now. So every day that I wake up is a gift. And so what can I do but give that back to him?